there's some things, if you don't know about me, I'm a huge worship person, love worship music. It speaks to my heart and my soul. It has been a while since I've shared with everyone what's been going on in my journey. I have not forgotten. Life has gotten a little complicated. So, just to kind of catch you up to date, since the last video, we were waiting for my Onca scores to come in. I had to make a decision about chemo. And they want to say that was back in November when all that was going on. So I did get my Onca scores back. My Onca score came back. It was a 36. And just to kind of give you a little refresher, they said if the Onca score came back over 25, that they would want me to do chemo. And I was really praying against it. I really didn't want to do chemo. And my Onca score came back at 36. With that being said, when I sat down with the chemo doctor, he let me know how the Onca score worked. And basically what they do is they take your history, family history, my own personal history, with the fact that I had uterine cancer before, I don't know, like blood type, just a whole bunch of factors. And they put it basically into a computer system and created a logarithm. It's just basically a formula. And what happens is they spit out this number, and that's the Onca score. And the Onca score, based on where it falls, lets you know the probability of you getting cancer again. So this is my second bout with cancer. First was my uterine cancer. This is now breast cancer. And the Onca score came back, and it was basically saying that there is a 70% chance that I will never get cancer again. Now, if you think about it, a 70% is pretty good. I mean, you know, on a teacher level, it's a C, but it's pretty good. 70% is nothing horrible. It's also not something that gives me a lot of security. It's not something that I rest in because there's still a 30% chance that the cancer could come back. With that being said, I struggled with the decision that I had to make at that point. With the Onca score being what it was, they told me that if I did chemotherapy, it would give me a 10% chance greater that it would not come back. So that means my 70% would go to an 80%. Sorry, my Alexa's talking. That it would go from a 70% chance of getting cancer again to an 80% chance. 80% is a really good number. It's a really good number. That's a B if you're a teacher. But to me, what the struggle that came at that point was putting my body through chemotherapy the right thing to do when it was literally only giving me a 10% chance. Now, to some people who are struggling with cancer, please don't mistake me. To some people, that 10% chance makes a huge difference. I mean, it could, if you're on the low end of percentages of getting that cancer back or getting cancer back, you're going to cling to that 10%. You're going to hope and pray that that extra 10% can help you, even though it's only 10%. I think my problem is my percentage was kind of in the middle, and with the 10%, it's kind of still in the middle. I mean, it's upper, but it's still kind of in the middle. So I had a lot of soul searching to do. I had to make the decision with that information. I think the doctor wanted me to tell him right then and there I wanted to do chemotherapy. But it didn't sit well with me. And partially it was out of fear. Partially fear because, I mean, come on, who wants to do chemotherapy? So I struggled with that, and I had decided I was going to get a second opinion, and he kind of gave me a deadline that I needed to make a decision before a certain date, so many weeks out, that I just couldn't keep postponing this. So I said, that's fine. I needed to pray about it. I needed to see where I felt God was leading me, in what direction to go with. So I did. And I came to the conclusion that I am not going to put my body through chemotherapy. But I'm going to tell you honestly that it is definitely not a decision I'm making based out of fear. The more I considered getting a second opinion, the more I considered what the chemotherapy would do to my body, the more there was this reassurance, I guess the best way to put it is a knowing. Like, there was just this knowing in my soul, in my gut. I don't want to say it was God at first, because I didn't equate it with God at that point. So they gave me the Onca scores, and I struggled with that. And let me tell you where I really realized that God was truly with me at this time. We got the information. My husband was with me. After the appointment was over, we just kind of were like, no, we didn't know how to feel about it. It was just a little jarring to not have a really good number. However, it wasn't a low number. Like I said, I'm grateful for the 70%. I just didn't feel that 80% was great. I didn't think the 10% difference was great. So I'm dealing with this in my mind internally. I'm struggling, as would everybody. And my husband and I went to go get new phones. This was, I can tell you now, it was before Christmas when I got the score. So we did go. We were sitting at Verizon. We walked in. They were super busy right before Christmas. They had some great deals going on. The gentleman who opened the door, didn't open the door. He greeted us at the door, took our names, told us that he would be right with us. So Kevin and I sat down, and I'm sitting on the bench. I was kind of looking through the store, looking at all the things, and kind of as loud as I can hear you guys when you talk to me. This happened before when I was in the ultrasound room and they were doing the biopsy. I could hear God's voice speaking to me in the Verizon store. And he basically was saying, nothing has changed. I'm still with you. I've still got you. And I was sitting there and I'm like, he's right. Just because now I have to make this decision whether or not to put my body through chemo. And it scared me, not gonna lie. It scared me because of what I've seen it do to people's bodies. And it's hard, and I didn't want to do hard. So I was pretty focused on that fear, and God spoke to me in the Verizon store and reminded me, hey, nothing has changed. I'm still here. Now, this is how fast he works. This is how fast things changed. I look over to the guy that was checking people in, the guy who had welcomed us. He was standing at the door and his left hand was facing me. I don't know why. I just was looking at his hand. And there on his hand was a ginormous butterfly tattoo. That's right. A butterfly. I don't need to go into details. If you know my backstory, if you watch my other videos, the butterfly is symbolic, and there it was. How do you argue that? How do you doubt? I couldn't. So fast forward to what I was saying about the chemo. First, I the decision was, no, I don't want to do it, because it was based out of fear. But as the time went on, it really became a matter in my soul. This confidence that no matter what the next step is, no matter what is going to happen, man is fallible. There's no assurances. If 70%, I could go do chemotherapy, and there's still a 20% chance that I could get cancer again. Nobody knows. 70%, 80%, 40%. Nobody knows, but God knows. And I kept going back to the guy with the butterfly tattoo, and I kept thinking about how fast God worked and how he sent me that butterfly to remind me. He spoke to me just moments before that, saying he's got me, that it will be all right. And so I've come to the conclusion, as you probably have already guessed, I am not doing chemotherapy. I'm not going to put my body through that. I don't want to put those poisons into my body for a 10% chance. And not only that, I mean, doctors are men, women, they're fallible. There's no certainty. The Onca score wasn't a logarithm. It was a probability. I don't want to put my hope and my faith and my trust in man for 10%. I'm going to put my hope and my faith and trust in the Lord, that whatever comes with my 70%, that he's going to be with me no matter what. He was with me the first time with the uterine. It was all self-contained, I guess is the best way to put it. They went in, took it out, gone. No more cancer. The breast cancer, they've gone in, they've taken it out. The lymph nodes look good. Everything looks good. We're going to do some radiation. We're going to move forward with radiation, and we're going to let that be in God's hands, whatever happens from there. And I'm not going to worry about it. And I didn't get a second opinion, and it wasn't based on fear. It's just a confidence that I feel that I know that the Lord is with me, and that no matter what decision I make, he's going to be there. And I feel very confident in saying I feel like I've made the right choice for me, for my family. So I do ask for your prayers, because I did go for my radiation consultation the other day, so I should be finding out here probably within the next week what that's going to look like. It's going to be 21 days, 15-minute sessions of radiation. So I could really use your prayers going forward. And yeah, we just serve an awesome God. That song, Holy Spirit Come, just fills my soul. And today, while I was doing some journaling, I'm on a retreat with my best friend. He gave me 2 more songs that I'm going to include with this one. The first is Promises by Maverick City Music. And the second one is Warrior by Kerr. That's just how God works with me. He speaks to me through music, and he knows I love worship music, and I'm going to cling to those promises. And I know that I'm a warrior, and I know that I have lots of warrior friends out there praying and that have been through this, and I know that God's got me. So have a great day. Love all of you.